the decking should be included with the deck. So I got screwed for $600 because they keep changing their mind.
Then you tell me that in order to prove what? That you are a complete idiot for doing the job without a contract.
This is the plaintiff, Raymond Alvarez. He says he was hired by the defendants after Hurricane Sandy hit to help him build modular homes, and the sleazy guy shortchanged him on his fee. He worked like a dog for 3 straight weeks. What the defendant is doing is unfair, and he's here to stand up and fight for the little guy because he wants the $3,000 he's still owed. This is the defendant, Richard. He says the verbally abusive plaintiff had trouble installing and building a roof, and he had to spend time training him on the job. More importantly, he agreed to work for a certain price and now thinks he deserves more, but a deal is a deal. He even had to call the cops on the plaintiff because he stormed their offices one day, started chest bumping him, and tried to get him to haul off and smack him. Bottom line, the guy was paid in full and he has no case whatsoever. He's accused of cutting corners. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,000 for loss of time.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Alvarez, you are suing. You don't want us to use the name of the development or your last name. So you were suing Richard in his capacity as owner of a contracting firm?
Yes.
Okay. For $3,000 in wages, according to you, it's actually more than that. You have a counterclaim against him for $1,000 for wasting your time by filing the lawsuit. Tell me what's going on.
Basically, I was hired to build some decks and some roofs for this company, and I did 5 or 6 jobs for them. The last job I did, they were going to a transition with their job foreman, and they got a new job foreman on the job. I did the job. They asked me to build the roof, the deck, give them a price on that. Okay.
You put in a new roof?
It's a modular home, and I built an A over it with the deck, poles, rails. They asked for a price. Okay, I said, I'm building the deck and the roof, no stairs. Yes, okay. A couple days later, job foreman says, oh no, you're doing the steps now. Fine, I'm making a new contract, adding the steps. A couple days later, oh, you're doing the whole job, you're doing the roof. I said, what do you want me to do, the shingles too? And he said, yeah, you're doing the whole job. I said, I'm not shingling the roof, okay? I got no time, and you guys have your own roofers. He goes, we'll put the ice and water shield on, tar paper, I did that.
Okay, wait. Before you did it, did you have a contract?
I didn't write any contracts up because they kept changing their mind.
It doesn't matter. Then you should be writing 7 contracts. That's exactly when when they change your mind, you write another contract. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what's done. But what I don't understand is this whole case is going to be a dispute about what you were supposed to be paid. So where did you get the idea that you're supposed to be paid $6,000?
Basically, when I finished the job, I made up a contract. In fact,
afterwards?
Yes.
Is that how you guys do business?
No.
Well, where's your contract?
We have a master service agreement.
He signed one beforehand?
Yes.
On this job?
All of the jobs.
Okay, let me see it.
Yes, I did about 6 jobs for him.
Okay. And does this set the price for that? No, right? Because this would predate it.
The individual prices are set at the time that the work is done, and if not, then it is established by fair market pricing. The contract provides.
So that's what this will say, that
Correct.
if we, okay, but why is a job being, why do you hire him to do something when you don't know what he's going to bill you? Why do you do that?
Well, in this particular instance, we were in a neighborhood after the storm, Superstorm Sandy. And we had 8 homes that we were trying to get done within a period
Somebody messed up, right? Because it doesn't take that long to nail them down to a contract and agree on a price.
In the prior work, we had his proposals, and we converted them to a work release, which is
Right.
the one page that governs
Right?
it.
So why didn't you do it in this case? Just say you botched it. Who are you?
We're brothers.
Okay, his brother's leaning over going, just say you botched it. All right. Because this is not the way to do business, because what happens then? Then you're going to end up leaving it to me to decide what it's worth. Is that what you want to do? I don't
why we're
recommend
here.
it. I don't recommend it. All right, so according to you, you do not reach an agreement with anybody about what you're going to get paid. You just go do the work, and then what happens?
Your Honor, I priced $2,500, build the deck with the roof over it, okay? No decking, okay? Then they call me back a month later, the job foreman, oh, we need you to come back and put the decking on. So I gave a separate bill for that for $600. Oh, no, the decking should be included with the deck. So I got screwed for $600 because they keep changing their mind.
Then
That's-
you tell me that in order to prove what? That you
That
are a
they
complete
keep changing their
idiot
mind.
for doing the job without a contract.
Correct.
I mean, it makes it worse, right?
It's hard to give a contract when they have so many bosses and change
No,
their
what it's hard
mind so
is to
many
say
times.
no to the green. That's what it's hard. To the money that's
Correct.
coming your way. That's what's hard. So I know what's going on.
Yes.
I am the daughter of a contractor and the sister of a contractor. I know exactly what's going on. All right. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes here. Tell me about this. What did you build here?
My payroll, I worked there 3 weeks on this project. My payroll was $3,500 I paid to my guys. They paid me $3,750, okay?
For this job?
Yeah. I mean, $250 for 3 weeks of work. And then they tell me the quality work wasn't there. The one brother told me, I don't even know what he thought, the market rate or something like that. And I got that.
How did they determine? Who determines the market rate? Will you do me a favor? I'm going to hand this back to you, and will you circle the market rate thing so I don't have to read 20 pages single space?
And I found that out because they
So
sent me a
who's
text.
the brother? The payer is the brother?
The
All right.
Rob sent me a text saying, we're paying you $3,750, that's it.
Okay. What
Sorry.
happened on this job? What was?
Your Honor, this is a rendering of the exact house, and the area that's in question is this porch on the right-hand side and the roof that's over the porch.
Okay. And then you have the part about if we don't determine, then it's market value. I don't even need that because that is what it is. I mean, that would be.
I also have pictures of the
That's
job,
what I
too.
would do. That's what a judge does. If there's no amount agreed upon, then I set a correct market value of it. All right. Now, let me ask you a question. He talks to you. He says, "What do you mean you're going to pay me $3,750?" Because you get the bill, and the bill was for how much?
$6,800.
$6,800. So you tell him, "I'm not paying you that." Did you have a problem with his job, or just that you thought that the fee was too high?
Everything he had done previously, I was fine with his pricing. When I saw this price, I sent him a text. I said, "Ray, this is crazy. This is a
Why was it crazy? What was-
Hold on. Yeah, I'm asking you, why do you think it was crazy?
I've been doing this a long time, 30 years, and what he did is not $6,800 worth of labor cost. I provided all the materials, even the nails and screws. He just provided labor. I even
Okay.
provided our generator, so he had gas. I mean, we paid
I
for
got my
gas.
own
Hold on.
generator.
Stop interrupting.
Stop doing it, please.
So I said to him, I've talked to my other subs. 3,500 to 4,000 was a range of where this should have been in. I said, I'm going to give you 3,750 for it.
So he finds out that you don't want to pay him, and then it gets ugly. Tell me what happens.
I was in the office, and it was early in the morning, around 9 o'clock. And as I was walking from my back service area back to my office, the plaintiff and another gentleman had walked into the door, and they asked to speak to me. And he said he was here to be paid. He said, well, your brother's offering me too little, and he said that he has to speak to you for a large amount, and I'm not leaving without my money. So he started to get quite belligerent, and I asked him to leave the office because we had outside visitors, and they were sitting literally as this gentleman to me. And I asked him to leave, and he said he wouldn't leave, and he began to get very loud, and the gentleman that was with him got into it as well. And I said, you know what, if you're not going to leave the office, I will call the police. They said, call the police. So I turned to my office administrator, Diane, and I said, Diane, call the police. With that, I walked into my office, closed the door.
Did you lock it?
Doesn't lock.
Okay.
So
Which you just found out that day. Okay.
it doesn't even close well.
Okay.
But, so I'm sitting at my desk, and he gets close to the door, and he starts yelling to me to come out and address us like a man. So with that, I walked out and I said, so you don't think I'm addressing this right? And he came up to me and it was the chest bumping. Come on, hit me.
Like
hit me.
real chest bumping?
Yes, ma'am.
His chest made contact with your chest?
No.
His chest made contact with your belly?
It was a little bit of movement up.
It was a little up.
A little bit of movement up, but he got into my face. I yelled at him, get out of my office. The police are coming. He said, so you're spitting on my face? I said, no, I'm not spitting on your face. I'm talking to you, telling you to get out of my office. He said, I'm not leaving without being paid. I said, fine, the police will be here. As he began to yell to me to hit him, I said, I am not going to hit you. I'm not stupid. At about that point, the police cars came around into the parking lot, and as they saw the policeman walking up the sidewalk, they began to walk out. 2 officers responded. One intercepted them as they walked out, walked into the parking lot. The other came into my office. At that point, I explained exactly what had transpired. I have a copy of the police report, and we explained to the officer what our position was. He said, fine, let me go out and see if I can get this resolved.
So the officer came to talk to you, and you told him your version. What did the cops tell you?
Basically, I went down there because I faxed them the contract.
But you faxed him your bill.
Yes.
Right.
I wait a week, nothing. I call back another week. I called like 3, 4 times, nobody. And so I had to go down there. And the guy I went down there was my brother.
But hold on. By the time you go down there, had you already been told by him, we're not paying you that?
He sent me a text saying you're getting $37.50. He did say,
right, so
I'll talk to my brother.
It sounds like you went down there in order to tell them, I want the rest of my money. I don't want just $37.50. I
didn't get anything. I didn't get a penny.
I know you didn't because you weren't agreeing to the $37.50.
I went down there to get whatever. Rob sent me a text.
How tall is your brother? Is your brother a big guy?
Yeah, he's a little big.
Okay.
He's a retired trooper.
He's a retired trooper?
But he works with me, okay? He went with me. He works for my company.
Right.
Okay.
All right,
I didn't
so
go down there to
what
muscle
happens
nobody.
that day? All right, so what happens? Well, he says you were chest bumping him and that you were right in front of his office door and that there were people there. That didn't happen?
I wasn't chest bumping him. Look at him.
Did you tell him to hit you?
He was spitting on me, yelling in my face. Like, what are you going to do, hit me? I wasn't going to hit him.
Did you
It looked
keep
like you
telling
were
him,
gonna
hit me, hit me? I want to own your company, hit me.
It's just,
Did you tell him to hit you?
I didn't say hit me.
All right,
I'm
so
not sure
now the
exactly.
police come and what happens with the police?
They just said, one guy went in, talked to them, said, listen, Ray, come back tomorrow. He'll cut you the check for $37.50. And he goes, the rest of the money that you're gonna have to take it up in lawsuit court. I said, all right, no problem.
Okay, you have a little bit different version of what happened.
Yes.
What do you say happened?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if I say to you, I'm not leaving your property until I get paid, and you say, leave my property, and I say no, can you call the police and get me arrested?
Well, you know what? Absolutely. I think you absolutely can get arrested, and I think they should go to jail.
You think so? Can you get arrested if you legitimately believe you're owed money and you're not going to leave until you get it?
Absolutely. It's not my responsibility to pay them. It's the company.
Well, no. Look, my point is that if you own the business, can you say, get out or get off my property? Even if you owed them money, could you say, get off my property now and call the police if they don't?
Yeah, they can leave now. You can pay them later, but it's your property, and they can get paid later.
I'm with you on this one. Going inside the courtroom.
As we explained it to the officer said, okay, I understand what you're saying. Let me go out and talk. So they went out, and about 10 minutes later, he came back, and he said, okay, he'll accept the $37.50. I said, fine, but he has to sign our contract, which is the work release, and has to sign a lien waiver. Came back, and he said, fine, he'll do that. And the plaintiff came back the next morning. He signed the lien release.
Hand me that.
And we gave him the check, which is within this package. Here is the...
Are you saying he signed a release of liability?
Yes, ma'am.
To sue you?
Yes, ma'am. And the contract also requires him to indemnify us for any claims that he may take contrary to that.
I couldn't get one penny.
Hold on. Okay. So on the day that they give you the $3,750, you sign a waiver saying you're not going to sue them. Right?
I didn't see that paper. I know I signed it.
You signed that paper. What do you mean you didn't see it? It's the only paper you had to sign.
It was a lien paper, but
it's entitled Subcontractor Final Waiver of Lien and Release. And in the first sentence, the undersigned does hereby expressly and voluntarily waive and release any and all claims and liens.
I wanted some money for all the money I laid out.
I know, so does everybody else when they settle. The problem is everybody else, when they settle, understands that this is a contract that
Yeah,
they've
I
entered
didn't know
into.
that couldn't sue after that. They had me over a barrel. It's like, you don't sign this, you're not getting no
over a
money.
barrel. There's cops there. It's not. There's no barrel involved. You just wanted the money. But the problem is when you. That's what a settlement is. You give a little, they give a little. Then it's resolved. If you don't want to give a little, then stand by your principle and go to court and sue. But you didn't want to do that. You wanted to get that money. That's what a settlement is. I find it hard to believe that you wouldn't know what you were signing when you were signing it. Your complaint says, in order to get the $37.50, they made me sign something. And then they gave me the check and I left. I knew what they did wasn't right, though, so I filed. That sounds like you know darn well. You just don't know the law. But you know what you were signing.
Probably don't know the law, to be honest with you, but...
Now, your counterclaim against them is $1,000 because your time's wasted. What do I get? Do I get anything? I am going to deny your counterclaim. On your claim against them, 0. Okay? That's my verdict. My judgment's for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's get some reaction from the plaintiff coming out here into the hallway. What do you have to say about this outcome?
What are you going to do? You live and learn.
And knowing what you sign?
I wouldn't do that again.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, right around the corner this way. All right, come on in here. And this is the guy that you claim was trying to intimidate you physically? This guy?
Trying to get the best of me.
Trying? What happened there?
I used common sense and called the police.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's your feeling on how the judge had a rule here?
Very appropriate.
Right, and your countersuit? I don't want to take up much of your time.
Yeah.
I know it's very valuable.
Well, no, I can't question it. She's very fair. I can't question it.
All right. Harvey?
Well, when you're in a pay dispute and you sign a settlement agreement, you know what? Tough luck. It is over. That's why when somebody asks you to sign something like that, I don't care how hard it is, you have to read it. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Dorothy Barbour. She says she and the defendant are caretakers who shared a client. So when one wasn't available to work, the other one would cover. The defendant ended up going on vacation, and she worked her shifts for 4 days. The defendant was paid for those days, owes her that money, and hasn't paid up. So she's suing for the $400 she's owed. This is the defendant, Lorraine Middleton. She says they had an agreement where no money would change hands. She owed the plaintiff 4 days of work when she couldn't make it and was ready, willing, and able to cover any time. The plaintiff, however, never asked her to cover any days. The woman they cared for was moved to another facility, and that's when she started asking her for actual money. She's still waiting to work and willing to work for the plaintiff with another client, but give her cold cash? Not happening. She's accused of not playing nice.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants are caretakers, and the plaintiff says the defendant screwed her over money. But the defendant says they covered each other all the time and didn't charge. It's the case of you treat me like bedpan contents.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Ms. Barbour, you are suing Ms. Middleton, your, I guess, former friend, for $400 that you say she owes you because you worked some days for her and that she refuses to pay you. Tell me what's going on.
Yes. On July the 29th, the 30th, 31st, and August 1st, Lorraine called me and asked me would I work in her place because she was going on vacation. And so I said yes.
Okay,
So
where were you working?
it was independent living.
Okay, at a facility?
Yes.
Okay.
And so we do that all the time. You know, it's a group of 4 women, and we switch out. So when any one of us have to have something to do, we ask the person that we're working for to work in our place so that our pay would never change.
So rather than having your employer pay whoever worked, you would just switch off and owe each other.
And then
All right.
that way, you know, you won't lose.
So according to you, she owes you 4 days.
Right.
Okay, are you still working at the same place?
No, our job went out in December.
Why? What happened?
She went into assisted living.
Oh, because you were caring for a particular person.
Right.
Okay. And then she went into an assisted living facility,
Yes.
so that was that.
Right. Her daughter put her into assisted living.
How is the lady doing?
I went to see her about 3 weeks ago, and she's doing fine. And when I
What'd you go see her for?
I just went to visit.
Okay, good. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to hear.
You know,
All right, so in any event, so because the job ended, you didn't get a chance to work those days, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you work any of them?
Those 4 days, I have on my calendar that I worked one, but Your Honor, when we started this agreement, no money changed hands. We would work for each other. If
No,
they
no
needed,
money was
yes,
contemplated
none.
to change hands.
Exactly.
I understand that, but if force majeure takes place and through circumstances outside of your control, the job is no longer there,
Yes.
then how are you going to pay her 4 days, if not through money?
Yes. Okay, what I said to Dorothy, because when I first initially met Dorothy, and she is still working for a gentleman in that building, so I said to Dorothy, I says, well, Dorothy, you know, our agreement was that we would change time, but I will gladly fill in for you with this other gentleman that you work for 7 days a week. I worked for him a lot of times.
Did you ever speak to the gentleman to see if you could do that arrangement?
My client that I still work for, when I mentioned it to him, he said no. He said no. He said, if she come in and assist me, you still losing money from me. She's going to work for him to pay me.
Because you have to find somebody who's willing to obligate himself to the risk that you're going to sue him for payment. Like, I wouldn't get involved in that.
Yeah, and so he told me no. And
that fellow's still got a very sharp mind.
That's the same thing that he said to me.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want to have nothing to do
with your issue, right?
He said,
so
I do not want to have...
I understand that that's the arrangement that you guys have, but you can't pay her the way the arrangement you guys have, and it's not her fault that you can't. So how does she get paid her days, right? Because it's not fair that she worked for you and she doesn't get any money.
Yes. Your Honor.
She says she did work one of the days. Is that not true?
No, altogether it was 6 days in all, because she had another client to call me when she was down in Virginia.
Does that ring a bell?
So that she wouldn't have to...
So you did 2 of the 6 days, leaving 4 days.
Right, right. Yeah. And then, see, I can't afford to pay for somebody's vacation, you know, because I don't even go on vacation myself.
You need a vacation. Who are the people you have with you?
This is
friends?
Amina Love, yes, in Georgetown. I've been knowing them for over 40 years before my children was born.
What kind of friends are you? Grab this woman and take her on a vacation.
If you
a
read
witness or moral support?
I am a witness for both of them.
Oh, come on up. Come on up.
Okay, it turns out that the plaintiff worked 4 extra days that the defendant should have worked. Does the plaintiff get that money from the defendant?
They made a deal to pay each other off. So if you work the extra days, then you work the extra days.
So it's tough luck for the plaintiff.
Tough luck.
You agree?
That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's right.
Really? You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Why, because he's got his arm around you or something?
No.
Yes. Going inside the guardroom.
I started working for the lady that Dorothy is talking about. As time went on and the lady got worse, her daughter asked me, did I know someone else? So our employer, she said, I'll give them every 4 days.
So that her mother would have full-time care.
Right.
Right.
What happened was I informed both Dorothy and Lorraine that the lady was getting worse. She was 98. She'll be 99
God
in
bless
May.
her.
And she is a blessing. She's not in a wheelchair, a walker, or a cane. And every Monday we went to the mall, Tuesday lunch and learn, Wednesday a concert, Thursday Florham Park. And they will tell you she's spiffy. Yep. The first lady on the New York Stock Exchange, and would tell jokes. You could walk in and wake her up. And she'll say, is my teeth in? Did I sleep? Where's my teeth? She wasn't crotchety, cranky, or anything. But I told both Dorothy and Lorraine, I love them both, that things were getting worse, and our employer was thinking about putting her in an Alzheimer's unit, which she did. We were told it would be a month or more before we would lose our jobs. And I know that the time was trying to be made up, but she was able to get in the facility earlier, and that's where I guess the mix-up was.
I don't really need to hear any more from either one of you. I mean, I think nobody disagrees on what the facts are.
Right.
The facts are the facts. You know, my dad is 91, my mother's 88, and I would feel so privileged to have any of you taking care of them because you're all lovely, lovely women, okay? However, we have an issue, and the issue is that we have a contract between two people where the method of payment is X, and X can't happen anymore. So I have to figure out something that does work, okay? There's only two choices, work or money. There aren't any other choices. So I am going to find that, in fact, you owe her the remaining 4 days and $400. And I'm going to rule in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $400. That's my verdict. Good luck, ladies.
All right, so here comes the defendant out here. So, well, she collects her money for the days because you couldn't pay her back in days. Any argument with that?
No comment.
Well, you get how it had to be that way, right?
Well, you know what? Because there were times Dorothy had more than enough time to get those days in. And I am not angry.
Right,
I can't get caught up into that kind of thing.
All right, good.
But she did have the opportunity to get her days in. She
right.
did.
Thanks a lot.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. All right, step on in here. How are you feeling coming out of the courtroom here?
I feel fine.
You have to sue your friend?
Well, you have to do what you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I don't hold any grudges. I just can't afford to pay someone to go on a vacation,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know?
How come your friends haven't taken you on a vacation? What's the matter with you?
Yeah, well...
Ladies, when are you going to take her on a vacation?
We do go on vacations together. We just haven't done it recently.
All right.
All three of us have gone on vacation together.
All right. Okay. Well, enjoy. All right. See ya, Harvey.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Kurt, you know, if you make a deal with somebody and it's not a straight cash transaction, all the more reason you need to nail it down in some kind of writing, probably an email. It will protect you. That will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just
speaking into the void?
But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the plaintiff, David Leonard. He says he rented an apartment from the defendant, and as it turns out, the place was unsafe to live in. He thinks there was a mold infestation. His daughter cut her foot on some broken tiles in the bathroom, and after 4 months of torture, he gave notice he was leaving. The defendant never did a walkthrough, won't give him his security back, and he's suing him for the $1,500 he's owed. This is the defendant, Kelvin Lastique. He says the plaintiff had a 1-year lease, and 4 months into it, he called him and told him he found a better place and said he was leaving. The guy left garbage behind, spray painted the walls black, and he thinks he's getting his security back? The guy even left him a threatening message, and he has it here today to play in court. He's accused of standing his ground.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff rented an apartment from the defendant. Apparently, it was filled with mold. The plaintiff bailed and now can't get his security. The defendant says the guy's actually spray painted the walls black. It's the case of don't paint it black.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
David Leonard, you are suing Lord and Luke LLC, represented here by Kelvin Lastique. You are, what's your position with them?
Property management.
Okay. For $1,500 security deposit that you want returned to you that you're saying that they have illegally kept. Tell me what's going on.
Well, Your Honor, I moved into this apartment August 1st. And when I moved into the apartment, I saw some things that
Were you with somebody else or alone?
No, by myself.
Okay.
So it was a 3-bedroom. I was trying to accommodate my 2 kids because they come and see me on the weekend. A month later, my tub started peeling. Okay, it looked
Are you
like
talking about the actual tub or the wall?
The bathtub, and it looked like it was wall paint inside of the tub. So I text him and I call him and I tell him about it, and he says, okay, he's gonna fix it. He came about 2 weeks later, and he came with a box with a spray can, and he had somebody wipe it down and spray it up. It looked real nice. 3 weeks later, that started peeling. I told him about it. I said, Kevin, I said, I'm paying you rent. You can at least give me a new tub. He says, a tub is too expensive. I said, oh, well, then I'm going to move out then. Okay, I said, because the back room is smelling. It's been smelling since I moved in. I thought maybe it'll go away. It smelled like fresh paint / mold. And,
Wait, those are two very distinct odors. Fresh paint / mold.
Yeah,
mold smells like mold. Fresh paint smells like fresh paint.
Well, it smelled like it covered over it. Like.
Do you have any evidence it was mold?
No.
Is there someone else who smelled mold?
The superintendent that take care of the building told me that it's a possibility it could be mold back there.
Do you have any evidence from the superintendent, a statement or anything?
No, that was verbal. Word from me to him.
That's what we call hearsay. All right. So you tell me that you told him, if you're not going to get me a new tub, I'm moving out.
Yeah, I told him if you're not gonna give me a new tub, and the tile floors was cracked too. They wasn't cracked; it was unlevel. It cracked at some point, and my kids running back and forth, kind of, not a big cut, but scratched their foot. I didn't have to take it to the hospital, and I ain't have no pictures of that, so I just wrapped it up in Band-Aid.
Okay, according to your statement, it cut your daughter's foot. Do you have any evidence of that?
I don't have any evidence of that. I had it in my old phone. My old phone wound up getting messed up.
Okay.
And,
go on.
So anyway, I talked to Kevin on. I think October 30th, about me moving out. He advised me that I would need a 30-day notice to move out. So I said, okay. So
does his lease allow him to move out with 30 days notice?
No.
Okay, go on.
So he advised me that I could, all I have to do is write a 30-day notice and that I could move out.
Did you write a 30-day notice?
I wrote a 30-day notice and
May I see what you wrote? And when did you send that?
I sent that around November.
When in November?
About November 2028.
Is this the original?
That's a copy.
All right, so do you have proof that you mailed this to him?
I don't have the proof.
Okay, so you write this on November 28th. According to you, you mail it to him then?
Yes.
And then you move out when?
I move out January 31st.
Wait.
December 31st.
Okay.
Midnight.
So you move out December 31st. And you expect to have your security, this is in the middle of the lease, but you feel that you should get your security deposit returned to you because the place was unlivable.
Yes.
Because of the tub?
Yeah, because of the tub and the floors.
Okay, do you have any pictures of the things?
Yeah, on my phone. This is the second
How come you have pictures of the cracked tile, but you don't have pictures of your daughter's foot?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I had a phone that fell in water, and I had to...
So
I couldn't retrieve those pictures.
Let me hear from you. When is the first that you hear that there are issues?
He mentioned about the tub peeling. The houses had just been renovated. When he called,
he calls, you go over there, you fix it.
Yeah.
And then it starts to peel again.
Yeah.
And then what?
I did advise him that that it takes about maybe like 12 hours.
Don't wet it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't wet it. Yeah. And you think he wet it.
Give it some time.
Right. And?
That was the most I've heard about it. I didn't hear anything else after.
Right. Well, you heard at some point he told you I'm moving out.
Yeah, he was moving out because he said there was a smell. He didn't really bring that up again.
All right. Do you have any proof that you complained about the smell to your landlord at any time during the time that you lived there before you told him, I want out?
I've told him this when I told him about the tub. I don't have no proof.
Okay. All right. So according to you, you have been complaining about it. According to you, you heard about it when he told you he wanted out.
Right.
Why do you think he wanted out?
I think he moved to Long Island City, Jersey City, which is closer to commuting. So I thought that was my...
Okay, so why won't you return his security deposit?
Because he did break the lease.
Okay. And so were you able to relet this place?
A month later.
When did you relet it as of what date?
January 1st, I believe.
Was there a gap then, or there was no gap?
There was a gap, yes.
What was the gap? He says he moved
about 30
out.
days. Yeah.
No, but he says he didn't pay December rent?
No, he didn't pay. No, he didn't pay December rent. No, he did not pay December rent.
Because he was there in December. He says he didn't move out till December 31st. Did you pay December rent?
He's lying. I did so. I paid November.
Okay, hold on one second. That's all right. We'll figure it out. Did you pay December rent?
I paid December rent. And
do you have the proof that you paid December rent?
I don't got it on me, Your Honor, but I paid December rent.
But you're like relenting.
Okay.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I wish I could remember now.
Why doesn't anybody bring...
I know, right?
And you're the property manager.
Yes.
How do you not have the records to see whether you paid it or not?
That was the one thing I didn't...
You're killing me.
I'm sorry.
All right, it sounds like you're not really fighting that he paid December.
No, I'm not.
And then if he... So, stop a second.
Okay.
The guy says he moved out December 31st.
Okay. So...
If you relet it as of January 1st, there's no gap, because January 1st is the day that comes after December 31st.
Right, no, there was a gap. There was a gap.
There was a gap.
There was a gap. I'm sorry. Yes, there was a gap.
But I can't just have your flapping gums because I don't trust you anymore because you
Really?
seem confused.
No,
Right.
I just can't remember. I'm sorry.
Well, I know. It's not that I don't trust you because I think you're a liar. It's that I don't trust you because you sound really disorganized. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
I'd like to see some records of when it was relet so that I know whether you lost a month or not. What is it? What records do you keep? Is it just you or are there other people involved?
I can check the lease for the new person. I can check the date.
I'd like that. I'm going to take a recess, go do that.
Okay.
All rise.
Okay, now, who takes advantage of who more, landlords or tenants?
Well, landlords, I mean,
You're saying it like it's fact.
like they got the upper hand, and all they want is their money paid on time or you'll get evicted.
Anybody think the tenants take advantage? What do you think?
I think maybe tenants do because they think landlords have the sole responsibility for things and they kind of can weasel their way in.
And it's not their place.
Right, it's not their place. Ultimately it's the landlord's place.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay. Do you have the lease?
No, but I do know the date that they moved in, January 8th. I don't have the lease though.
Why don't you have the lease?
Because I don't have it on me. It's in my office. And
I just took a recess to give you a chance to get the lease here.
I cannot get the lease.
Why not?
Because no one's in the office.
What kind of a place are you running here? So I should just trust your flapping gums again as opposed... I mean, you've been all over the map. It was a month. There was no gap. It was January 1st. It was there was a month gap. Now there's 8 days gap. So I can't trust you at all.
It's somewhere in there.
I'll treat it exactly like you're treating it, which is zero. All right.
Fine.
Now, how did he leave the place that made you feel that you should be entitled to keep the security deposit for damages other than rent?
He painted on the walls.
Did you paint the walls black?
No, I made a chalkboard for my kids. I made like a 4x4 chalkboard, something
So
small.
you painted 4x4 of the wall black? Okay.
4x4.
So those walls have to be painted.
Yeah, I told them that some of the security deposit will be kept, but not all.
All right. Do you have an estimate for painting those walls?
No, I do not.
Well, then how do I know how much you're... What kind of property manager are you? How long have you been doing this?
About a year.
Okay. When you come to court and you want to keep $1,500 of somebody's money, and your reasoning is that there's damages, you have to be able to prove up your damages. So if the wall needs to be painted, which I agree with you, I would expect you to have an estimate for painting the wall.
I do not have a written estimate. I really am going with the fact that he broke the lease after 4 months.
But you still have a duty to mitigate as a landlord. That means you got to get a new tenant. And if you get a new tenant, 30 days later, then you'll get to keep the money as rent. 8 or 6 days later, you're only going to get a portion of the money rent. So all the rest of the money you're trying to keep is it. So you know your own facts. You should put your hand down. You should know your own facts. You don't just automatically get to keep a guy's security deposit because he broke the lease. You get to keep it to cover your damages because he broke the lease.
But if
what is this a picture of?
That's a broken wall.
Okay, how did this wall get broken?
That I did not break that wall, Your Honor.
Well, who did?
I don't, not me.
Okay, but somebody did. These are pictures of the apartment.
He probably damaged it on his own, Your Honor.
Oh, you think he damaged it so that he could fix it and then
No,
pin
so
it
that
on
he
you?
can keep my security deposit. That's his offense. He never told me.
That doesn't sound likely.
He never told me in this that it was any damages. He said the reason why I wasn't getting my money back, this is a letter that I got from him, was because of the broken lease. He didn't say because of damage.
What's this a picture of?
A refrigerator door. The
That
inside
was what, dirty?
Yeah, the inside. The brace is missing.
Okay, according to your answer to the complaint, there was so much garbage and trash in the place. Do you have any pictures of that?
No, it was too disgusting for me
Did
to
you
even
pay
take pictures.
anybody anything in order to get the apartment ready?
I had my handyman that lives on the premises clean the place up as quickly as possible because I wanted to get
Do you have a testimony from the handyman, an
No, I do
affidavit
not.
from the handyman?
No, I do not.
Hand me what you got. Anybody got anything else they want me to look at?
He said it was a 1-year lease. This is saying it's a 2-year lease. That's proves he's
Either way, a
lying.
1 year or 2 year lease. You broke your lease for sure. There's no question about that. The problem that he has in keeping the security deposit is that he has to prove up either $1,500 worth of rent damage, which, according to his own admission, he didn't have, or $1,500 worth of other property damage, which is what I'm going through now. Who fixed this?
My handyman.
Nothing from the handyman. You don't have the handyman here to testify?
No.
Mr. Lastic, you got a lot to learn about being a property manager, my friend.
I'm learning as we speak.
Okay. Now, tell me about any contact you had with him after he left.
He had on his lease. It says he has up to 30 days before we give him notification. So we sent him the mail. He just showed you the copy of the mail, and that's when I started getting threatening messages.
Tell me about that.
He sent the threatened message that he'll get his money, and he doesn't care if he goes to jail if he gets his money.
Let me see the message.
Okay, I have the text message.
Did you say that to him?
I texted him. I said, I will go to jail if I don't get my money.
That's a threat.
I was kind of upset, but you know, when I went to see him, I wound up going to the house and he was there. So when I saw him, I got out the car. You know, he acted like he was scared because, okay, you said that was a threat.
Yeah, I'd be scared too if you had texted me that.
I ain't causing nobody harm. I didn't do nothing. I just said, I want you to keep your word as a man. I gave you the keys like a gentleman. You said I could move. I gave you 30-day notice. I said, let me get my security deposit back. I got text messages saying that I said I didn't want the whole $1,500. I was letting him keep $300 of it. I only wanted $12.
Your lawyer don't got no address, Kevin. I will find you and go to jail for my money. What kind of thug are you?
I'm not a thug, Your Honor.
Well, then don't act like one.
I was just upset, that's all.
Yeah, I know. He is going to pay you, though. So my next step is to figure out what he is entitled to keep based on what I'm looking at. I'm rendering a judgment in favor of the plaintiff and the amount of $1,000. Pay the man.
And so the defendant will be returning some money to the plaintiff there. What's your reaction on having to return that money to him?
I love the court system. You know,
you love it?
Yeah, it's, you know, what it is, and that's it.
You're not so good at it because you didn't bring evidence. You didn't bring the handyman. You don't have the lease.
No.
And you didn't have what it took to win your side of it.
It's still what?
That's what I'm saying.
That's just one case. Yeah?
All right.
Harvey, what's up?
Our new producer is heading right around the corner. Satisfied how this comes out?
Yeah, I am. It could have been better, but I'm satisfied with the judge decision. I think she did a good job.
What about your behavior in kind of stepping on his neck a little bit there to try to get your money?
Well, I ain't literally step on his neck, but I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? But I know violence don't solve anything. That's why we was here in court today. And what don't come out in the wash definitely comes out in the rinse.
All right, over to Harvey.
Okay, this is a cardinal rule. Do not ever, ever, ever do improvements on an apartment, even if you think it's making it better, without the landlord's permission. And I gotta tell you, if I were you, I would not do it unless I got it in writing.